Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Showing you guys a duel over here. This is actually between my budget agent deck, which is, I don't know, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still mostly agent. It's basically 3 Lost Sanctuary structure decks combined into one. One person asked me for the deck profile a long time ago, and I was actually going to do it the next day, but I really was unhappy with the current build. And I know I only have the 3 structure decks to work with, but like, I didn't want to. I just didn't want to release it. I just felt really insecure about the build, I guess. Yeah, I started to tinker around with it a little bit more, and it has supplied me some wins here and there. With my build, it's mostly all about Hyperion and Divine Punishment. They are what's really going to change the momentum of the game majority of the time. And possibly Nova Summoner, only because it can get out Air Knight Parshath, which I do end up playing. There's not really much monsters you could actually take from the structure deck itself and make good. Like, you can play Venus, but it's just like, okay, then you have to play the Shine Balls, and if you play the Shine Balls, so what? You go Venus, you bring out Shine Balls, and they just sit there because you're only playing the 3 structure decks? No. So yeah, I ended up not playing those stuff. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm not playing an extra deck at the bottom. But I do open up with Double Earth, which is a really amazing card. Nova Summoner, Torrential, and the Sanctuary in the Sky, which this whole deck really just revolves around. Hyperion is able to pop 2. I don't take battle damage with fairy monsters. Earth is able to search out Hyperion with this. I'm able to use Divine Punishment while this is up. All that stuff. So my opponent up top, his name is King, and he's playing Inzektors. It's a pretty standard Inzektor build. The only thing that really deviates from most Inzektor builds that I've seen is that this guy plays exactly 1 Insect Imitation and 1 Hopper. Other than that, it's really just an Inzektor deck, all in all. Even in the extra deck, you can kind of see all that. I've never seen anyone play Double Leviair, but I guess that's a thing now. Or even Gotchi, I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't usually see Exabeetle or Photon Strike Bouncer. Okay, so besides that, it's a pretty standard Inzektor build. So let's do this. Let's play on. So he does go first, and he draws into a Hopper over here, and obviously he's going to go Allure. He goes Allure, and he draws 2. It's 2 Gigamantis, and he gets rid of the Hopper. At that point, that really just signified to me, oh my god, Inzektors. So he goes Tour Guide, and he gets out Sangan, and then he just ends. Because he's looking for that Sangan search, and that's pretty clear already. You don't need to be a genius to figure that out, that he wants the Sangan search. So now I have to think in my mind, what does he want? Does he want a what is it, a Hornet or Dragonfly? Like, what does he want, right? So, things to think about. So here I just summon Earth, and because of the field card, I'm able to add Hyperion to my hand, which is always a beast. Always. Always. I remember I faced this guy on Dueling Network with this deck, and he's just like, God, that card's just too OP. It's too OP. Like, he was freaking out. So I also actually attack here. I crash into his Tour Guide, only because I was afraid of an XYZ play, just because they're really hard to get around with this deck. Especially Zen mains. Maybe not other things, but I think it's just Zen mains, and this deck is just so easy with the whole level 3 stuff. So he actually draws into Dragonfly, which is just like, whoopee! And of course the Heavy Storm gets dropped on me, and I have to Solemn Judgment it because I feel like the Torrential could actually do something. The only downside to this is I'm paying 4,000 life points so very early, and that could really work against me. So, I don't know, we're just going to have to see how it unfolds, you know? And he can capitalize on my low life point count. So here, he actually summons Dragonfly. Now, I came to this conclusion wrong, but I came to it, like, it's the right conclusion, but my thought process to get to it was wrong. Like, the fact that he showed the dragonfly, okay, I was just like, okay, he probably had that from time, and that's why he had the Sangan there, and now I know that with the Sangan he's going to get a hornet. And that was my whole thing, and that's why I didn't want to torrential at this point in time, because I felt like he was just going to do a ladybug play, and then I could just torrential when he brings out the centipede. But at the same time, I was just like, oh my god, but what if he does have the hornet? I don't know what I want to. I don't know what I want to do. So what I end up doing is I just let the summon go through, and then he equips, and it turns out to be a ladybug, and I get the biggest sigh of relief. So now he turns Dragonfly to a level 5, and then he brings out Centipede. Now, upon summoning Centipede, I end up going Torrential, because at this point in time, I don't want to deal with a potential rank 5. I don't want to deal with anything that Centipede will add to hand. Yes, he can still get the Sangan search, but you know, the whole rank 5, the whole whatever with whatever with a Centipede, and the fact that he could still potentially get a Sangan search later on is just like too much. And he ends up getting Hornet, so that made me feel good that, you know, I kind of anticipated that he didn't have the Hornet. So it was just some of those times, I guess. So here I draw Divine Punishment, which is, you know, it's a thing. I summon Earth, and I go get another Hyperion, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And what I do is I just end up attacking for 1,000, and then I set my Divine Punishment afterwards. Now, really, it really all comes down to me. Like, well, really all comes down to him, actually. Can he draw another Inzektor to complement the Hornet? But he doesn't. He does not. So, next player's turn. He draws into Warning, which is nothing. Come on, it's nothing. Like, it is to some extent, but at the same time it isn't. So he throws down Hornet, and that makes me feel safe that he's not going to pop me this turn, obviously. But he is equipping with Gigamantis, and then he does equip with the sword, and now I have this big Hornet on the field. Yeah, he can attack me, but actually it still wouldn't even matter, even if he did attack me, because I'm still going to banish that thing for Hyperion, and I won't be taking battle damage. So, yeah, whatever. So basically I'm going to explode on this turn. That's what's basically going to happen here. Yeah, also I do play Return from the Different Dimension. The deck really does do a lot of banishing. Like, I do play Jupiter, and he banishes. I play Hyperion, obviously, to special summon him, you banish. To use his effect, you banish. You know, all that type of stuff. So, and Return from the Different Dimension actually OTKs. So he warnings my Hyperion. At this point in time, I felt like activating Divine Punishment, but at the same time I couldn't, because like I had to still get rid of the Hornet, and even if I do get rid of the Hornet, he's going to get the effect of Inzektor Sword, and obviously he's going to get back Inzektor Dragonfly, and then what can I do next turn? I can't do anything next turn. I'm going to get screwed. I'm going to get messed up severely. So I save the Divine Punishment only for that Dragonfly moment. So I just summon the other Hyperion. And yeah, also, even if I did manage to keep it on board, I'd still have to deal with the Hornet. I couldn't pop anymore, because I have like nothing in my grave. So yeah, whatever. And obviously, yeah, he just adds the Dragonfly. I summon Nova Summoner. I end up just attacking with both, and that drops him considerably low. And from then on, like, it's over on the 7th turn. I'm just telling you that right now. It's over on the 7th turn, and this is the 6th turn. So now he's at 900 life points. King isn't so high and mighty anymore. And there. The good thing about this now is that I have Hyperion and several other monsters removed. I could also go return from the different dimension and just laugh. So that's a thing. So he goes and draws, and he gets an Effect Veiler, which would have been awesome last turn, but unfortunately for him, he didn't get it. So he summons Dragonfly, proceeds to activate Dragonfly's effect. Here's where Divine Punishment comes in handy. This is actually like my most favorite card in the whole entire deck. It's really something. It really is, actually. The only downside is, like, yeah, it is so dependent on the Sanctuary in the sky, unfortunately. So the replay ends here because he does actually surrender. Like, he can't do anything at this point. He has a Gigamantis in hand and Effect Veiler. That's it. I still have Nova Summoner. I still have Master Hyperion. I'm about to draw a Jupiter, and if anything, I have Return from the Different Dimensions still. Like, it's completely over. There's no going back. So there you guys go. 3 Lost Sanctuary structure decks up against Inzektors. Alright, later guys.